he realized he was holding a steel needle. Behind him, took his errands. His wife had already lost her breath. Tay Wu was attacked. The killer took the wallet and ran away. He didn't have the strength to grab the phone and fainted. The scene shifts. Hyun found the unconscious Tay Wu in hospital. His injuries were severe. The doctor rushed to save him. Hyun waited alone outside the surgery room. No one picked up Chae-rena's call. Chae-rena was with her dad at home. The chairman warned his third son, if he wanted to stay here, he shouldn't do anything outrageous from now on, as long as he obeyed when needed. Just follow the instructions. Chae-rena knew. This meant he had to be his own puppet. At that moment, the chairman asked him to take the call. It had been ringing non-stop. When Chae-rena heard from Hyun that Tay Wu was hurt in hospital, the first thing he thought of was not to visit, but to tell the head to block the police. If things got worse, it could cause trouble for the group. After giving these orders, he arrived at the hospital right after. Actually, Hyun loves Tay Wu, but she had to play nice to rise, using Chae-rena's feelings for her. Spoiler alert, Tay Wu is aware and allows this. On the other side, the head stopped Chae-rena. The police probe was shared with the chairman. He didn't understand why it had to be done. Surprisingly, the chairman approved it. He secretly had Tay Wu moved to his hospital. The next morning, Grace learned from her brothers that Tay Wu was hurt. She rushed to the hospital to visit. Meanwhile, the elder and younger brothers suspected each other. Each thought the other was the real culprit. At the hospital, Tay Wu woke from his coma. Seeing this, Hyun was set to call a doctor, but he grabbed her arm. Just then, Grace Strong burst in. Then Chae-rena entered the room. This gave Hyun a reason to call. In fact, Grace Strong had just seen Tay Wu holding Hyun's hand, but she didn't tell Chae-rena. After the doctor's exam, Tay Wu was no longer in danger. Chae-rena immediately told her father the news. She also shared the decision to hide the probe. The chairman knew that their thoughts were aligned. No need for extra details. But after the call ended, he said something was off. He quickly dialed Uncle Choi. He told him to look into something. Meanwhile, Grace Strong advised Chae-rena not to be fooled by Hyun, because he could see that woman didn't love him, but Dad had agreed to rid of marrying Hyun. So he didn't want to hear his sister trash his future sister-in-law. In fact, Chae-rena also saw Tay Wu holding Hyun's hand. He purposely waited until his sister went in before entering. At the office, and A revealed something to Hyun. He heard someone was trying hard cover up the case of Tay Wu's attack, and that person is Chae-rena. So far, the police haven't filed the case. Chae-rena stayed in the hospital for Tay Wu's wake. He lied, saying the cover-up was his father's order. Everyone agreed to forget about it. No one would ever mention it again. Tay Wu doesn't see this as just theft. Why would they make such a decision? Chae-rena urged him to let it go, not just for him, but for the company's sake too. Before leaving, he pointed out. This guy arrived at the scene of Tay Wu's attack. He bent down to touch the still wet blood stain. Meanwhile, Tay Wu found the chairman wing. He aimed to find the one pulling strings. The chairman thought it had two terms. It must not be known outside. The victim's name must stay secret. However, after Tay Wu left, he quickly told Uncle Choi to find the head before Tay Wu. Cut 2. Tay Wu, in a daze, arrived at 90's hideout. He asked him to find out who attacked him. The next day, Hyun's mother found her daughter, forces Hyun to give her some pocket money. In fact, someone hired her to do this. The payment is 10 million won. When Hyun, distressed, returns to the apartment, she finds Chae-rena waiting at the door. A concerned greeting makes her completely drop her guard due to her grievances. However, she ignores Chae-rena's disengage. After 2 days, she successfully hacked into Seoul's traffic surveillance system. Used the footage to find the mysterious attacker. This person is Minju's secretary. The mastermind is Minju. At night, Chae-rena takes Hyun home for dinner. Before it ended, Mr. Kim never asked the daughter-in-law's name. I'm Hyun Ro. Since you didn't ask, I'm just telling you. The old man has already looked into it. He's currently working under candidate Zhao. Coincidentally, it's a Brookback rival. So Mr. Kim hopes his daughter-in-law can resign. Hyun speaks openly in front of everyone. You can ask me to resign, but I need fair compensation. Mr. Kim greatly admires Hyun's courage, but doesn't like her attitude. In fact, Chae-rena knows what Hyun truly desires, so he tells her not to stress. That thing will rise soon. 3 days later, Tay Wu was discharged. He trailed Minju's secretary to a bar. From this person's tone and demeanor, he deduced these guys never intended to kill him to start with, so the attempt was just a warning. He wondered why they did this. The event has already occurred. Does the reason still matter? Tay Wu told the secretary to call Minju. He's a man who repays grudges. He then stormed out of the bar. The secretary quickly reported to the boss. Tay Wu reached the rooftop to meet Hyun. Let's skip the love story. They couldn't unite due to their own goals, but they couldn't forget each other, so they kissed on the rooftop. Unbeknownst to them, the secretary captured it all. He tried to give it to Minjun. On the day Chae-rena married Hyun, Tay Wu got info about Minjun from the 19th precinct. It was found he had all long-term traits. After the wedding ceremony, the first son blackmailed Hyun with a kissful dough. He might have taken her out to talk, but then the scene shifts. Tay Wu woke up covered in blood from his coma. He was still holding a steel needle. Behind him, Minjun and his wife were dead. Based on the wound